Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill. And today we are going to take a look into the brand new tank. And fellas, have you heard that Wargaming is celebrating the 13th anniversary? Happy birthday, Wargaming. And obviously, what is the better way to celebrate birthday than to sell a brand new premium tank, right? Which has extremely great armor. I would say it's even unpenetratable, fellas. Yeah, I believe you see where I'm heading to with this, right? Okay, quickly, let's compare this tank with the tanks which I think is comparable in one or another way, and let's quickly talk where the start goes, right? So first of all, GSOR I think is going to be the most similar to the Lance NC, and I think obviously it's going to be quicker because it's British wheeled vehicle, but other than that I assume it's going to be similar to the Lancen. And Borat is just as a comparison because it's quick and it has same alpha damage, although it has a magazine. So first things first, what you will instantly see, the DPM of this tank is far away from being great, right? 1.8 thousand, even Borat without a loader has better DPM. Yeah, this is quite a stinker situation. But where the gun handling goes, gun handling looks very, very good on this tank, at least on the paper. Obviously, I don't trust paper. I do not know. Do you? But we are going to test it out whenever we will play with this tank. Where mobility goes, mobility is very, very, very nice. 60 kilometers per hour speed. This should be great, and also the ground resistances are good as well. Armor, no armor whatsoever. And the next thing what I want to talk about to give the understanding how the camo is looking like on this tank. This is how it looks like in the garage, right? And where the camo goes, this tank has everything is tuned up. One more thing before we are moving in, fellas, this crew is extremely horrible. Skill, what do you mean the crew is horrible? First of all, your gunner is loader, and second of all, your commander is radio operator and loader in the same time. That makes this tank very annoying to play with, because if we would take a look into the British medium tanks, right, you would notice one thing. There is not a single British medium tank, pay attention at this, there is not a single British medium tank which would have the similar setup like this, right? A lot of qualifications in one crew member. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there is not a single British medium tank which would have the radio operator as a commander, right? So actually, excuse me, I'm wrong. Matilda Blood Prince is the one. Yeah, but it's kind of irrelevant, right? So it is very, very important thing to say. Oh, also Valiant. Skill to the point. Well, my point being is that this tank will need to have its own crew, right? And the pressure on the commander is humongous. So this is very, very important thing to highlight and just to say this out loud, right? This is definitely a negative thing. Now, where the camo goes, the camo of this vehicle is, when everything is tuned up, it is 33, right? If you would compare this to Lorraine, it is humongous tank. Lorraine has 29, right? If you would compare this with the Lance NC, Lance NC has 36 plus. And obviously, if you want to go nuts and compare it with a Borat, no one is close to the Borat level, right? So, that being said, this tank is not shining camo-wise. It is somewhere in between Lorraine and somewhere in between Lancen, right? So spotting with this vehicle can be very, very tricky, and it can be very, very complicated. But maybe the gun is going to be awesome, right? Because on the paper, gun is looking good, well, minus DPM. So without further ado, let's go into the game with GSOR and let's try to make it work. And obviously, I am going to say my opinion about this tank. Do I think it's worth your hardly earned money, or it's another mech tank which is having a wheel skin and you know, it is something, you know? So without further ado, let's go. Okay, fellas, this is the very first battle, Mannerheim Line Standard Battle Tier 8 Matchmaking. Once again, I haven't played with this vehicle for for a single game. I do not know how this tank will behave, but stats suggest that gun handling is going to be accurate, right, which is a good thing, and it suggests that this vehicle is going to be very, very, very quick. So let's see how quick this mother trucker is. We are going to take this position, so we will try to punish guys who are going like this. How about that? And we have the T-44-100 nearby. Unfortunate. Okay, first thing what I can say, it's turning. Wow, okay. First thing what I noticed, the turn speed of this tank is slow, like proper slow. With a Ferrari, you can turn like crazy mother trucker. You can vroom, like there is no tomorrow. With this tank, it looks very, very, very different. One thing which I need to highlight instantly, shell velocity. What is the shell velocity? 920 shell velocity. That felt slow. Shell velocity feels definitely slow. Unless you are willing to shoot APCRs, if you are, aka you are shooting gold, then you are going to have a decent shell velocity of the tank, right? Where the gun depression goes, gun depression of this vehicle is -8, so it's nothing extraordinary, it's nothing too special. I do not know do I like it. I really do not know do I like it. And it truly feels you cannot even drift with this tank, by the way. I just tested it out, you know, whenever you are pressing the space. With the wheeled tanks, you cannot drift. And it is the same mechanic with this vehicle as well. And one more thing to say, platform is humongous. Pay attention to this platform, it's huge. So when you are paper, when you are made out of paper and you are huge, look at the comparison with this guy. He is obviously on the taller ground here, but holy bananas, I am significantly bigger than he is, right? I am significantly bigger than he is. Skill, are you flexing with your brand new tank to the T-44-100? Yes, I do. You got me. So, okay, VR mobility, what we figured out, VR mobility goes. I'm not impressed by how fast this tank is, which is good for a game. It's going to be easy to hit this tank because the tank is humongous and the tank isn't that quick, right? I think this is definitely the thing to highlight. So if you hated wheeled vehicles, and I know plenty of you does hate them, this tank doesn't have the same benefits as others. At least I would say so. But in the same time, is it worth to buy the tank? This is the other question. I think the perfect description of this vehicle will be to be a sniper schnitzel. I cannot see this tank being the frontline warrior, considering how humongous this tank is, right? It just doesn't look like this tank belongs in the front lines. I think it's going to be... I cannot compare it to the Leo for sure, but it might be similar playstyle like Leo is. You are sniping from the back unless you are extremely, extremely good and you know what you are doing, then you can play aggressively even with a banana, right? That's what I think, and this is how am I looking into all of this. So far, not impressed, fellas. I'm not going to beat around the bush. So far, I am not impressed about this. Yes, this is a very, very huge distance. I need to highlight this, sure. To hit shots like this, it is quite a hard one. It is quite a hard one to hit shots like this. Plus, on top of that, once again, you need to spam the full gold with this tank. At least where shell velocity goes. That's what I would say, fellas. And look at this, even the speed, right? I mean, sure, speed frontally looks actually okay. You cannot say it is unplayable, you cannot say it is bad, but the turn speed, I mean, I feel like I'm playing with a TOG. This is how it feels like to me, fellas. It feels like I would play with a TOG. And that is not a good comparison, just saying. Obviously, Progetto from behind, that is okay. I know I'm dead, fellas. You do not need to tell me this to me. I am accepting my responsibility. Okay, this is the first game. with this tank. Not impressed. Obviously, our team wasn't the finest, but the things which I noticed the most. Turning speed, no bueno. Standard ammunition, where it goes, no bueno. You are a humongous target. You have no armor, and the DPM is caco as well. So far, it's not very good. Okay, fellas, we are back after first game. One more thing what I forgot to mention, this tank doesn't have the turbo mode, right? That being said, with this tank, you cannot go vroom, vroom, vroom like you can with a Ferrari, which is not bad for a game, fellas. So far, my first impressions of this tank is below average, where the tank goes. 1.4 thousand damage, hip hip hooray, that's what we have. We pretty much break even, but keep this in mind, I do not have the extra rations in the bag. In fact, we lost some credits because we completed the mission, right? Okay, first pancake needs to be burned. Let's see what we can craft with this tank. Okay, round number 2. Let's see what we can craft. Ghost Town, we have a very, very good matchmaking. I'm going to go to this bush instantly, and I hope my shitter will go and try to make pressure. Oh, super tester, no. More likely baboon. How about that? How about that? That was a good one. Fellas, I'm proud of my joke. One more thing, what came to my head whenever I was waiting until this tank will come back from the game is it's kind of weird that the new line is coming into the game and the tank isn't looking so great, you know? The tank isn't looking epic, the tank isn't looking broken or something, right? Don't you think so? Or maybe it's just a first impression, right? Maybe I am wrong. Maybe this tank is going to be quite powerful one, and I do not know what am I doing with it. Who knows? So far, in this position, I am doing everything properly. I went in front, I am spotting for my team, and I am doing damage in the same time. And I am using all safety pins to escape Aka. If I would get spotted, I would not get punished for that, right? So in this gameplay, or in this situation, it doesn't look bad by any shape or any form. Would you agree with me, fellas? That definitely... Oh! Hi. It definitely doesn't look bad. Oh, those paid actors. Oh, Wargaming, I appreciate you. You just simply made me to make this tank look good, right? Oh, yes, indeed. Wargaming. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Fellas, you saw that from the first look. This tank is awesome. This tank is amazing. This tank is the best tank in the world of tanks. I do not know what you are working for if you are not buying this vehicle for yourself. Oh, my bananas. What a tank that is. Oh, glorious. Yeah. Okay, listen, I am lucky with this game. I made a good decision to get into this position, right? And we are farming in a way. So that is absolutely awesome, and that is very, very good. Now, where the gun goes, gun looks okay. Not okay, sorry. The gun looks very, very good. I would not say the gun looks bad, okay? So that is important thing to highlight. Whoa! Hi there, you magnificent mother trucker. Okay, Borat. I do not really like the situation. What have I done here? Oh, yeah. Okay, mistakes were made. Fine. I messed up. I was too greedy. I made a decision to be aggressive, and that was bad one. I should have expected someone sitting in this position over there, and obviously, whenever you are making a mistake, you are going to end up in the garage, right? That's fair and square, and I cannot blame the tank for this. So what we learned in this game, we learned that this tank can take position relatively early, and this tank has a good gun. And I believe you noticed that I did not fired gold ammunition. I was trying to shoot the standards, right? It wasn't looking bad by any shape or any form where the gun goes. That's nice. Okay, let's see the score. Okay, fellas, we are back with a first class. Thank you very much. 3.2 thousand damage, 2.6 thousand assisting damage. Very, very nice. We finished the game first by experience and first by the damage. and we made 90,000 profits. But keep this in mind, that was a very, very, very good game where the game goes. You know, we are talking about the 6,000 combined. I personally don't think this tank is going to be easy to play for beginner. I just really want to remind you one thing. Okay, I really want to remind this. Skill, what that means? Well, that means if enemies will fart next to you, there is a chance you will take a damage. Just saying, right? Although where the armor goes, right? Where the armor goes, at least enemies cannot penetrate you with high explosives. So that is something, right? This is okay. Unless you will sit sideways or unless you are going to show your rear. But, you know, we are speaking about the weak high explosive penetration. If we would talk about the tanks like, let's say, German, where is the German CDC? High explosives. I mean, you can penetrate it into the lower plate and then the penetrations are going to be tiny touch easier, but this tank has a very, very good high explosives. By the way, do I need to tell you if you are missing trash burn, you are dead instantly, or I shouldn't say that? Or bzz. Or bzz, fellas. Okay, when we have this out of the way, we are slowly but surely getting grip of the tank, and I hope you are enjoying this journey together with us. Without further ado, round number 3. Okay, one more thing to highlight. As you can see from equipment, what am I using? This tank is equipped for the best gun handling possible, right? So yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing. That's why we are hitting our shots as well. Okay, what is our goal? Our goal is to take this position here and hopefully we can punish enemy light tanks. I wonder, can we have a turbo on this tank? This is the question. Can we have a turbo on this tank? Okay. If you are aiming well, you should be able to hit your shots where this tank goes. Obviously, I believe I do not need to highlight this. I forgot what I wanted to say. Never mind. Fellas, never mind. I'm trying to focus on the game to see how this tank feels like. You know, I truly try to do so. Progetto. I know what I want to say. Listen, the standard ammunition of this tank is going to be more difficult to play with. Skill, why would you say something like this? Well, where the standard ammunition goes, you have accuracy, but you have slower shell velocity, right? So you need to know how to pre-aim your shots properly. If you are not going to pre-aim your shots properly, 920mm shell velocity is not that awesome. And once again, keep this in mind. The DPM isn't the finest with this tank, right? DPM isn't the finest with this vehicle for sure. Okay, how about this guy? Another fire? Not quite. That was a massive low roll, but it is okay. Listen, in this situation, my goal is just to annoy enemies and to sit somewhere in the back while sniping. I think the tank gameplay is going to be a sniper schnitzel. I do not really think you can be too aggressive, or alternatively, you saw the last game, whenever I was aggressive, I took the bush. I was spotting from the bush, which is yib yib hooray, right? But in the same time, the moment I got spotted, it's kind of game over. So you do not want to do that. You do not want to get into the positions from where you do not have escape route, right? I think this is very, very, very important thing to highlight. Okay, what do we have here? We have enemies making pressure through the city. That is good. So what do we want to do now? We want to escape. We're escaping. We want to get a good angle for whenever Iron Army or TS-54 or whoever else, whenever they will be aggressive, right? That's all we want to see. We want them to be aggressive. Hi. Where the gun goes, where the gun accuracy goes, it is very, very, very nice. And believe me, I would not say that for no reason whatsoever. But in a way, you are paying the price for having this accuracy. Skill, what do you mean? I do not follow you. Listen, you do not have a DPM, right? That is very important thing to highlight. Your DPM is kind of a stinker. So this is the price you are paying for this accuracy. Okay, let's keep it up. Yeah, you can hit with this tank. You can. Pretty damn well balanced tank. What Wargaming is doing, they're balancing the tanks well. Huh. Who could expect this, fellas? Meanwhile, the same gentleman who asked my opinion about this tank, how is GSOR, he's yelling on the team and calling them names. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Why there is no mediums in the city? I have the same question to ask. Why? What is wrong with our... wait a sec. I am playing medium. Wait a second. I am playing medium tank. Maybe it's my fault. Sorry. My bad. Where the gun goes, you can definitely hit. You can definitely hit where the gun goes. That is a hit. Aim properly and you are going to be fine with this tank. But once again, this is a sniper schnitzel in my humble opinion. Good aim. I'm trying to aim properly and I'm trying to make this tank work. This is why I am talking a bit less in this situation. 4,000 damage and there is plenty more to do. Okay. In the first game, we figured out how mobility looks like. In second game, we figured out how not to play aggressively with this tank. In the third battle, we figured out that we are pretty good sniper schnitzels. Too bad there is no drifting with this tank. Hey, what is the reverse speed? And I'm curious, can I use turbo on it? Where the reverse speed goes, this tank goes 27, 28 kilometers per hour. Nothing extraordinary. No, but skill, it's not bad. No. I'm not saying it is bad, fellas. I'm saying there is nothing extraordinary and there is nothing super duper hyper turbo special, you know? That's what I am saying. But overall, not bad. I was expecting this tank to be significantly worse. I was expecting this tank to be significantly worse. Double penetrator. Huh. You sneaky bugger. I have an idea. I am leaving this Vaka on his own. He's a big boy. He's going to be fine. And what we are going to do, we are getting closer to snipe. Oh, yes. IS-3. Mr. IS-3. How are you doing this fine day? Oh, in the open field. I believe you are doing fine. Did our ISU just killed GSOR because this IS-3 was hiding behind him? I have a feeling that was the case. Okay, fair enough. Unfortunate fate for this gentleman. Oh well, what can you do? Sometimes your teammates can be more disgusting than enemies in a way. And not from the positive side. Is it quick? I'm trying to understand... is this tank quick? But to be fair with you, I feel like Borat is significantly quicker than this vehicle is. So now the other question is, turbo, yay or nay? Can you use turbo? Because Wargaming doesn't allow turbo on... Wargaming doesn't allow turbo on the wheeled tanks, right? And in my book, this is a wheeled tank. In my book, this is a wheeled tank. How we can do this? How we can get more use? If I would push towards this IS-3, could I eliminate him from the game? I think I could and I think I should. After that, we are instantly going for the sniper schnitzels who are sitting here in the back. It shouldn't be that bad. I think we are booming, fellas. I think we are feeling alright. So, What is our plan? How we are going to approach them? First things first, we are going to go like this. I'm very, very well aware of that. Enemies can make a bit of pressure this way, but I am feeling kind of alright. Sue is in the open field. Very, very nice. Can we eliminate Sue? Wow, this gun handling is very, 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 very solid. This gun handling is very, very solid, fellas. Truly. I hit the gun. That was a complicated shot. I truly cannot complain about this. Where the gun goes, this is very, very, very strong. I hope, fellas, you are enjoying those first impressions videos whenever I am just going... nuts, right? And whenever I'm digging deeper into the tank, what I feel while playing with a tank and how does it look like when I'm playing with a tank, right? I hope you are enjoying it. And if you do, as usual, fellas, feel free to leave a virtual kiss being in the like form so more people can see this video and more people can join the baboon family as well. Thank you very much, fellas. I appreciate you. You are awesome. Thank you. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, fellas, we are back. We got ourselves ace. We needed 3 games in order to achieve that. Sniper Schnitzel, high caliber Confederate. 6,000 damage, 1,000 assisting damage. That is very, very, very strong. We got 1.3 base experience because we were mostly sniping from the back. And in total, we fired 21 shots, 19 direct hits, 18 penetrations. I was aiming good, but it doesn't change the fact that this tank can hit, right? Yeah, this is definitely the thing which I need to highlight. Also, where the credit goes, 83,000 credits, 83,000 credit profits, but in the same time, I fired quite a bit of the gold ammunition as well. Quite an interesting tank. I don't think this tank is broken. I think in the lesser of experienced player hands, this tank is going to be a death sentence because it's huge. You do not have any armor. Speed will make you to go into the trouble easier in a way. Does it make sense? Speed will give you ability to get into the trouble and to feel over-aggressive. Does it make sense? And for extremely good players, this tank can be very, very, very nice feature. Where the gun goes, gun is definitely better than Lansen. Gun is definitely better than Lansen's gun, fellas. That is for sure. Now, the question is, can you use turbo on this tank? And you can use turbo on this tank. Fellas, I think it would be a sin if we would not drop improved aiming unit and we would not go with a turbo. You can use the turbo on this tank. Huh. What an interesting situation, fellas. Let's go with a turbo then. We are going to go faster forwards and faster backwards, right? Let's do this. Okay, fellas. Obviously, this build is giving us a bit more speed, but the gun handling should behave a bit worse. Keep this in mind. And now what we can do, we can go instantly to the middle. This can be a death sentence for me, right? Because I am truly risking for this. I am going vroom like crazy mother trucker, but I'm willing to take the risk because I think the speed allows this tank to do that. Let's see, am I correct or am I incorrect? If I would see the light tank going like this, I would change my mind. Now I'm committed. There is no return for us. We are just going for it. Now turn. By the way, whenever you are turning with this vehicle, I want to highlight one thing. Make sure not, if you want to turn quicker, do not press W, right? So you are going to quick, tiny touch quicker, and this is going to be a nice thing. Meanwhile, we have a gentleman who made a decision to go in. It is going to end up badly for him, but it is his problem. Please don't shoot me. Okay, very, very nice. Yes, shoot other guy. Excellent. Very, very nice. Skill, I have a question. Why you are not shooting this guy? Because I'm trying to focus guns in this situation, right? I believe that makes sense. And now we are going to say hello for him. He's thinking, oh, wait a second. Fight, 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 fight. Pirosami, you got this. Track. It's completely fine, fellas. I am just trying to make it more interesting for myself, okay? We are just witnessing the light tanks beating the living crap out of each other. That was fun. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Luckily, I was like a third party in this battle, right? So enemies did not pay any attention whatsoever towards me, and that is fine. The gun still behaves pretty well. This could be the legit build for this vehicle. You are popping turbo on it, right? And you are beating the living crap out of everyone in this way. You are becoming tiny touch faster. Yeah, sure, you are losing a bit of the gun handling, but not noticeable amount, you know? I would not say, oh yeah, without this, the gun handling is absolutely unplayable. It's disgusting. You know, I do not feel this. Okay, Turtle. Turtle is dead. Excellent. Excusez-moi. Okay, okay, I see what you have done there, I see. Was it a blind shot? Could this be a blind shot? I mean, my commander got killed, right? So I could not spot him. That's the biggest highlight. Okay, Tortoise is making pressure like this. Can we say hello for them at this point? Listen, in this situation, we are just trying to make the crossfire for the enemies, right? My mission is to annoy them as much as I physically and possibly can. This is the part of this tank. You know what? In a way, I would say this tank, it reminds me like CS63, but with a good gun. And with bad DPM. This is how I look like into this tank. But I can tell you exactly that this vehicle isn't broken, you know? If you are expecting, oh my bananas, that is a broken tank, this is going to be absolutely glorious and this is going to be amazing. It's not the case, okay? It is very specific vehicle. It is very specific vehicle. Skill, do you know you are shooting gold? Do I? Oh no. Yeah, so bad, fellas, so bad. I'm so sorry, I did not notice that. Skill, you cannot be sarcastic. We are reading you like open book. Fine, you got me. You got me, fellas. I am just testing this tank to the maximum, if that makes sense, right? I am trying to figure out what this tank has to offer and how this tank can behave. This is why am I shooting the gold for a last game, and this is why I am just simply trying to dig deeper how this tank performs. Okay, what will happen next? Skoda will say la 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 la. Skoda will go sideways like this. So we are going to spank him like there is no tomorrow, and after that we'll see what we can do. And after that we'll see what we can do. ISU is making pressure like so. Not much what I can change about that. Gold on. Kaboom. Good. Very good. Oh, Mr. Tortoise. Fine. Bad aim by me. Not much what I can change about that. I'm dead. Yeah, that's okay. I would be dead anyways. You see this Lorraine going from behind. So yeah, not bad tank. I was expecting it to be significantly worse. I do not really think this tank will be in the bottom where the performance goes, and I do not really think it's going to be in the top. I think this tank is targeted towards better players, right? Because you need to know how to keep the distance between you and enemies. I think this is very important thing to say. You need to know what tanks to approach whenever you are thinking about the trading, because the DPM of this vehicle is not that great, and overall it doesn't look bad, fellas. It honestly doesn't look bad. I am pretty happy about this. Nice. Okay, fellas, we are back after the game. Let's see the last battle and let's say our final thoughts about this tank for now. We got 4,000 damage, a bit of assisting damage. We took the position. We played very, very well. I am very happy with my performance, right? And we made quite a bit of... Actually, we broke even. The main reason why am I saying so, I was shooting the gold, right? And in the same time, if you would pay attention, we completed the mission. So pretty much we broke even. We made 10,000 credits or something, which is fair enough. Okay, so now final thoughts. As you can see, fellas, I have played 4 games with this vehicle. My average performance was 3,600 damage and 1,000 assisting damage. And in the same time, yes, this is a live review. This is all games I have played with this tank, and this is how we performed with it. Now the final thoughts. I don't think this tank is broken. I do not really think this tank is unplayable. I think this tank is going to be somewhere between average tank and good tank towards the good tank category, probably for very experienced players, right? But the most important thing, when Wargaming is releasing the new lines, right, usually they are making a mistake and they are making tanks broken. In this kind of situation, it's not the case. So you know what? I never thought I will be able to say that, but kudos to Wargaming for not making this tank broken and overpowered, right? Who could expect that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Who could expect that? Now, I do not know the price of this tank, but I guess it's going to be around 40 euros, I would guess. Is it worth it for you? Well, first of all, I do not know your finances, right? So you need to ask yourself, do you want to go somewhere for a steak or buy yourself, I don't know, 8 kebabs? Or do you want to have a pixel in the game? This is the first thing what you need to ask yourself. And where the tank goes, tank is okay. Tank isn't bad. The biggest highlight is the speed and the gun handling. At least that's what I think. Where the equipment setup goes, I think equipment setup is either this if you want to be quicker, or either this, or either to replace the turbo for improve the aiming unit to become even more accurate in the certain maps, like let's say Kempinovka, Prokurovka, whatever, where you might not need that much speed. Obviously, I made a decision where the field modification goes. You will see everything in the index page, but I made a decision to go with module durability, improved sight, and the anti-reflective head coating. Aka, you are getting 3% more camo. One more thing, I do not really think with this tank it is valuable option to go for a spotting setup. I mean, I get the point that you can get into position in time, but I am afraid that if you are going to have a spotting setup of this tank, whenever you are getting into the bush, you are humongous. I mean, pay attention at this tank size and Lansen size. Look at the differences between those two, right? I am afraid that you might get outspotted by the light tanks, but if you are into the spotting stuff, right, where the equipment setup goes, bounty exhaust system, optics, and CVS. CVS should be in the boosted slot if this tank has a boosted slot, and I think it does, right? I think I have said everything. So once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed GSOR 1010 in action with a bit of my help. And if you did, once again, feel free to send the virtual kiss with a like shape. Thank you very much and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.